Would you like to join me centre stage? No. Hello. In the autumn of 2015, I was sitting in a car with my mum trying to make excuses not to go into the big building to my right. We were in central London and I was due to attend my first improv class. What am I doing? Why am I doing this to myself? Mum, why aren't you listening to me? God! This went on for half an hour before I realised that I was in fact not a 4-year-old. I went into the class and my molecules were rearranged. Time for a bit of backstory. My name is Amy Trigg. I am 25 years old and I was born with spina bifida. I have always wanted to be an actor. No, that's a lie. For a while, I wanted to be a spy or a con artist, but my parents couldn't find any local espionage classes, so I got sent to ballet instead. In my GCSE dance class, a boy pointed at me and said, "Why is she even here? She can't dance. She's in a wheelchair." I immediately fled the dance studio and cried beneath the school stage, because it felt more dramatic than the accessible bathroom. 10 years later, I would remember that moment as I sat on set filming a dance solo for a film. I dearly hope that boy goes to see the film and tells his children that he once danced with me. I auditioned for over 13 drama schools. I applied for mostly musical theatre courses, but then someone made a meaningless comment about those courses wanting beautiful humans and strong dancers with long legs, and me being a slightly awkward, vulnerable, 4'11", 17-year-old, I immediately changed all of my applications to the acting course. Except for one. I kept my audition for Mount View Academy of Theatre Arts musical theatre course. I cried after my audition because I wanted it so badly. 1 month shy of my 18th birthday, I got onto the musical theatre course at Mount View with a Dada scholarship, a booyah. Drama schools are not the most accessible of places. Mount View didn't have a lift in its main building until January of my first year. It was a slow stair lift, which for health and safety reasons had a massive flashing light and an ear-piercing alarm. My petition to get the alarm changed to a recording of someone screaming, "Amy's coming! Amy's coming!" went ignored. There was no accessible bathroom in the musical theatre department, so I had to use the toilet upstairs in the offices, which was actually fine because it meant I could go to the loo without someone next to me belting Defying Gravity from Wicked. No, the building was not especially Amy-friendly, but the people, they were. I had lessons on how to support myself vocally from a sitting position. I had private dance classes to work out how to adapt different styles of dance, and the man in the canteen always had a toasted tea cake ready for me. They got me. It wasn't easy, though. There were times when the scars of secondary school reared their ugly heads. The comments made in my GCSE dance class sometimes crept into my mind like a disease. Years of being bullied meant I thought it was okay to eat lunch alone in the accessible bathroom. Newsflash, it's not okay. I had hypnotherapy to work on my anxiety and stage fright. I battled with personal demons that were left raw by the grueling curriculum. But I got to act, sing, and dance all day, every day. How lucky was I? And then I went into the real world. Have you guys been there? It's awful and wonderful and confusing. I got a lovely agent from Showcase and booked my first small TV gig quite soon after. And then it went quiet. We quickly realized that I was only being seen for disabled characters, of which there are very few. Throw in the fact that most theatres are inaccessible backstage, even after multi-million-pound refurbishments, and you have a recipe for fun employment. In my first year out of drama school, I was told I didn't look disabled enough. So there I was, 21 years old, being told I was either too disabled or not disabled enough. The parts I was being seen for, they were mostly not gender or disability specific, and I often went to general auditions, which basically means that I, a white female wheelchair user who was 21, would audition alongside a blind 42-year-old black man for a part that didn't even exist. Yay, inclusivity, sign me up. I then became quickly aware of the amount of non-disabled actors playing disabled characters. I would make a list here, but we literally don't have time. Apparently, I had been living in some kind of Amy dreamland where I was not super aware about these things until they directly affected me. Classic white girl syndrome. So, we're now in summer of 2015. Keep up, Janice. I read Tina Fey's Bossy Pants and Amy Poehler's Yes, Please. Both are amazing memoirs written by strong female comedic actors, writers, and producers, and you should immediately buy them. Both Amy and Tina talk at length about improvisation. Queen Tina Fey describes wanting to be a part of this improv sketch group, but the group not wanting another woman because there just weren't the parts. And Her Royal Highness Tina Fey was like, dude, we're creating the parts ourselves, it's improv. And long story short, she got on the team. And I thought, hold up, Dame Fey, I can create my own parts. I can be a doctor or a lover or a reindeer and not just an emotional tool or tick box. Game changer. So I signed up to that scary first improv class. And everything that Tina and Amy told me would happen, happened. My molecules were rearranged. I started saying yes to things. I stopped apologizing for existing. I embraced being weird and playful and odd and childish and grown up. I got better at communicating with people. I felt more comfortable in my own skin. I smiled with all my teeth and said what I wanted to say. I did things before I was ready. I signed up to a stand-up competition because I thought it would be fun and scary. It was. I won. London improv venues are mostly above pubs with no lifts, which means my opportunities as a performer are somewhat limited. So I built my own arc. In 2016, I set up Essex-based improv group Ladies Inconvenience. Our shows are BSL interpreted, and we are currently working on integrating audio description into our performances. Our venues are wheelchair accessible, and we try and keep ticket prices low. There shouldn't be a hierarchy for access. That's what I've learned. In all my time improvising, I have never done a scene based around my disability. We've never ignored the fact I'm in a wheelchair, and arguably all of my characters have been disabled, but it's never been the main focus of a scene. So, what's happened since that first improv class? Well, I played one of my dream roles, Laura, in The Glass Menagerie here at this beautiful theatre. I toured the country playing Sally in The Who's Tommy with Ramps on the Moon. I originated a role in a new comedy, Goth Weekend, at the Stephen Joseph Theatre and Live Theatre Newcastle. I shot a dance sequence for a film. Spoiler alert, I'm the dancer in the wheelchair. Unless I get cut, in which case I'm not. I'm not saying that improv has made me a better performer, and I've certainly got a long way to go, but it allowed me to play the characters that I've always wanted to play, which makes this sometimes restrictive industry easier to swallow. I want to do a lot of things. I'd love to play Sally Bowles in Cabaret. And I'd be totally down for playing a strong disabled lead in an episode of Black Mirror on Netflix. Oh, just putting it out there. In order for all these things to happen, I need people to yes and me. Yes and is an improv term for accepting and building. It's about working together, seeing things from a different point of view, and building on new ideas. So basically, I need a theatre company to agree that Sally Bowles could totally be a wheelchair user, and I need the writers of Black Mirror to agree that we need a banging episode of Black Mirror with a kick-ass disabled lead, and I'm happy to play them. Let's continue to yes and each other, accept each other for who we are, whether doctor, lover, or reindeer, and not what we have previously been expected to be. It's going to be rad. Thank you.